Welcome to Fawad Bey YouTube channel. Today, we are reviewing a true piece of smartphone history that might literally be sitting in your pocket, or, let's be honest, collecting dust in a junk drawer right now. We're talking about the iPhone 8. This thing launched way back in 2017 with massive hype and premium materials. But today, well, it's completely shifted gears into a rock-bottom budget device. So, let's explore this journey together, contrasting those wild launch day expectations with the harsh reality of actually using one today. So it brings up a really fascinating question. How exactly does a flagship age? I mean, we all know that intoxicating day one excitement, right? The pristine box, peeling off that plastic, the bleeding edge specs. But what happens when the dust settles, the software updates just keep piling up, and the battery goes through, 1,000 charge cycles? By looking at the iPhone 8, we get this perfect case study of what survives the test of time and, well, what completely falls apart. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Day 1 unboxing. 2. Core specifications and features. 3. The performance promises. 4. Today's refurbished market reality. And finally, number 5, the final verdict. Let's jump right into Section 1, the Day 1 unboxing. Let's rewind the clock and look at a Day 1 Chinese review of the 64GB silver model. It perfectly captures a very specific, kind of painful transition in tech history. The reviewer pulls out the phone and the paperwork, but then look at the accessories. We've got the Lightning earpods and, yep, that tiny, highly controversial Lightning to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter. The traditional headphone jack was definitively gone. No way around it, and man, that was a massive, massive point of frustration for music lovers back then. But, the missing headphone jack actually wasn't the biggest source of anger on day one. Our unboxer was absolutely furious about the power adapter. He pulls out this dinky standard 5-watt charging brick and points out a pretty glaring contradiction. See, the iPhone 8 was highly touted for supporting fast charging and wireless charging, but you had to buy those accessories entirely separately. As he bluntly put it, I spent $5,000 or $6,000 on a phone, referring to Chinese yuan, by the way, and you don't even give me a fast charger? Talk about a massive point of friction for early adopters paying top dollar. All right, moving on to Section 2, Core Specifications and Features. Now from the front, the iPhone 8 looked practically identical to the iPhone 7, and honestly, even the iPhone 6 before it. But flip it over and bam, you had a major design shift. Apple ditched the aluminum back and moved to a really durable 7-layer glass back. Our Day 1 reviewer noted a huge benefit to this beyond it just looking ultra premium. That silver glass back elegantly masked fingerprints compared to the glossy finishes of the previous generations. Plus, the antenna bands blended seamlessly into the frame, which gave the phone this incredibly clean, almost liquid-like aesthetic. It looked awesome. And speaking of looks, we have to talk about the screen. While it kept the exact same 4.7-inch 1334 by 750 LCD resolution as the previous year, Apple introduced their True Tone technology to the iPhone lineup. Originally designed for the iPad Pro, True Tone uses ambient sensors to adjust the display's white balance to perfectly match the lighting of whatever room you're in. The whole goal? To reduce eye strain and give the screen a much more natural, paper-like feel. Actually, a really solid upgrade. Up next, Section 3. The performance promises. Let's be real. The iPhone 8 was an absolute powerhouse for its time. It completely dominated benchmark scores. It introduced the A11 Bionic chip, which featured a slick 6-core design, 2 performance cores that were 25% faster than the previous generation, and 4 efficiency cores that were a staggering 70% faster. But the real showstopper for our Day 1 reviewer? The 12-megapixel f/1.8 rear camera system with optical image stabilization. The hype around video was huge. The iPhone 8 could capture 4K video at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second, and even push slow-mo up to 240 frames per second. For a smartphone in 2017, that capability was just mind-blowing. Which brings us to Section 4, today's refurbished market reality. So, here is the absolute most crucial point today, the barrier to entry. If you want an unlocked 64GB refurbished iPhone 8 right now, it's going to cost you roughly $118.99 on Amazon. Think about that. This drastically shifts the phone from a premium luxury item straight into the extreme budget category. I mean, it's basically an impulse buy price for a smartphone. But what exactly are you getting for under $120? Let's look at the data. Based on over 400 global ratings on Amazon, the device sits at a decent 4.1 out of 5 stars. But the breakdown is where the real story is hiding. 68% of buyers give it a perfect 5 stars. They're totally thrilled with their purchase. However, there is a highly vocal 13% of buyers who give it a 1-star rating, citing complete and utter dissatisfaction. So you've got a sharply divided crowd here. What's driving the love and what's fueling the anger? Digging into the actual reviews gives us a really clear consensus on the pros and cons. On the pro side, buyers absolutely love the build quality and form factor. Reviewers like Julieta Cezana praise the lightweight, perfect pocket size, which, let's face it, is a total rarity today. Another buyer points out it's a fantastic, highly durable starter phone for a preteen. Plus, you get full iOS 15 functionality. iMessage, FaceTime, modern apps, they all still work. But the cons are severe, and they basically all point to one single culprit: the battery. The iPhone 8 has a tiny 1821 mAh battery. Modern reviewers are constantly complaining of abysmal battery life, phones overheating really quickly during normal use and taking absolutely forever to reach a full charge. As one reviewer named Tiffany put it, you can literally watch the battery percentage tick down minute by minute when using modern apps like TikTok. Yikes. Finally, Section 5, the final verdict. I just have to highlight this beautifully vivid review from an Amazon customer named Scott Pants because it literally perfectly encapsulates the modern iPhone 8 experience. He writes, "Does it run like a brand new iPhone 8? Of course not. It's like giving a retired racehorse a second wind. It'll trot, maybe even canter, but don't expect it to win the Kentucky Derby. And yet, for what it is, it works." That hit the nail right on the head. That is the reality. It's a relic that absolutely still gets the job done for basic communication and media, provided you just keep a charger nearby at all times. So as we wrap up this review, I want to turn it over to you. When you are navigating the refurbished market, what features do you prioritize most? Are you willing to sacrifice battery life for a super compact size and a dirt cheap entry price? Or is an all-day battery totally non-negotiable for you? Think about your own trade-offs between price, performance, and longevity. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more tech deep dives. And hey, if you want to buy this product, the purchase link is in the comment section. Click on the link there to buy it. See you in the next one.